Harper Audio presents I'm Hosting as Fast as I Can, written and read by Tom Bergeron. Copyright 2009 by Tom Bergeron. Production copyright 2009 by HarperCollins Publishers. Introduction. There I stood, on live television, with 40 million eyes on me and an unconscious Osmond at my feet. Marie Osmond, moments after performing an energetic samba on Dancing with the Stars, had dropped like a sack of potatoes just to the left of my peripheral vision. I didn't see the feint, but I heard it. There was, as I recall, a slight whoosh, followed by a resounding thud. Only after watching it on YouTube, where it was available almost before she hit the floor, did I see what our millions of viewers had seen. For a second, I thought she was kidding. Judge Len Goodman had been droning on about this or that perceived misstep in Marie's technique, and I thought she was using a comic swoon to suggest he wrap it up already. The audience at first let out an uncertain laugh. Then it fell silent. I turned, looked down, and saw her face. She was pale. Her mouth hung open. She wasn't kidding. I knelt next to her, as did her professional dance partner, Jonathan Roberts. Then I did what anyone would do when faced with an emergency. I threw to a commercial. Suddenly, EMTs, producers, Marie's small entourage, and other DWTS staff joined us at her side. After a long 20 seconds, her eyes fluttered and her limbs came back to life. She blinked into focus, suddenly aware that she was on her back, looking up at a circle of concerned faces. She glanced over at me, gave me a sick smile, and said, "Oh, crap." I tried not to take it personally. Truth is, "Oh, crap" was pure poetry. It was funny, irreverent, and, given the circumstances, remarkably focused. Plus, now I had a punchline. Guess what she said when she came to opener to ease the audience's tension when we returned from our extended commercial break? Had she said, "I think I'm gonna puke," it wouldn't have been as helpful. Marie was aided to her feet, and then, ever the performer, she offered a wobbly bow to the relieved and applauding studio audience. I couldn't help but smile, both in amazement and in admiration. 30 seconds earlier, she'd been out like a light, and now she was completely commanding the stage, albeit with slightly crossed eyes. When we returned to the air, she was sitting backstage, waiting to appear on camera to receive the judges' scores for her samba. But first, the camera would be coming to me. I knew that the home audience, who hadn't seen Marie's comforting bow, was likely agonizing about her condition, and that it was my job as host to ease their concerns and get the show back on track. The viewers would initially see me in an overhead wide shot of the ballroom, so I made sure I was smiling and loose when the red light came on. "She can't be dead. Look, he's smiling," the TV audience would think. As the shot changed to my close-up and the stage manager cued me, I knew that a casual tone would help too. Ultimately, of course, the visual proof that Marie very much wasn't dead would seal the deal. I explained that Marie had fainted and that she was fine. Then, savoring the moment, I shared her first words, which even the studio audience hadn't yet heard. "Oh, crap," the ballroom exploded with laughter, and I could only imagine a similar reaction in living rooms across America. The backstage camera caught Marie's embarrassed grin. She shrugged. "Sometimes when I'm excited I forget to breathe," she said, at which point everyone else exhaled. It's often said that comedy equals tragedy plus time. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play? In this case, comedy equaled shock plus about 7 minutes. And Neil Simon's Sunshine Boys were right. Words with K sounds are funnier. Marie's comment that night brought to mind one of my favorite sayings, the essence of which I'd read years ago in a book by the late philosopher Alan Watts. If you hold your breath, you lose it. I always loved that. It's profound enough to launch a thesis, and simple enough to fill a fortune cookie. And despite Marie's ill-timed fainting and the ensuing commotion, my breathing had remained fairly steady, my focus reasonably clear. To be honest, I reacted less like a television host and more like a dad, as I would when my daughters were small and would skin a knee or fall off a swing. All my attention would turn to them.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?